Greetings, fellow 50p collectors. A worn out coin snatcher back home again. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, a little tour around the Royal Mint Museum. I will make sure the next time that I take a charging cable in the car with me and have a full battery, and I'll do a longer video. But I had a lot of people giving me strange looks. I think a lot of them don't realise that there's a community of coin collectors out there. So quite a few strange looks. I had to wait until everybody had sort of left before I was able to carry on with the video. Otherwise, I might have made a few comments that probably would have got me barred. But it was a result today because I booked the tickets online. Obviously didn't realise that there was going to be a fucking cattle market out the front selling every piece of shit you could think of, ridiculously overpriced items, and all of it just basically tat. I mean, they give you an idea, there was a stand right at the door to the mint, and they had boxes upon boxes that fucking stank. I mean, a proper fucking stench coming off it. Well, it turns out it was all fucking things that your dog would eat. So there was like dried testicles, and there were fucking dog cat's ears and fucking sheep's tails and all this sort of shit that you give your dog, and they have a right good fucking chew on it. And then you had fucking kids everywhere, little bastards all running about. Their parents have got no fucking control over them whatsoever. I mean, it's fucking disgraceful the way some of these kids are brought up. Well, they're not brought up, they're fucking feral. Absolutely feral, these little bastards. And I had to keep my tongue a few times, otherwise I would have told these parents exactly what I thought of them and what I thought of their offspring. So we just got back home. We're gonna, well, I say we got back home. We've been back home a while, but we're gonna celebrate now. The blood pressure's gone down. We're gonna have a nice pint of the old speckled hen. This is a rather nice pale ale. Don't know if any of you folks out there drink anything apart from fucking Stella and Buckfast, but this is a rather nice beer. I've poured a few of these before, as you can possibly tell. And yeah, it's in a Cobra beer glass, but we'll forgive it that. So yeah, it's certainly an interesting day today at the Royal Mint experience. Completely forgot it was Easter weekend, you know, being a non-practicing Christian. Speaking of that, there was the funniest thing of the day was a group of Indians that were there at the Royal Mint. I thought, fucking hell, that's strange enough to see a group of Indians there, but typical fucking Indian family. There were about 37 of them. You had a fucking grandma turned up. She had more gold and fucking stuff hanging off her than I've ever seen before. Crazy looking lot. But it was funny watching them being searched before they went in for the tour. I couldn't believe it though. They all started to sit down beside me, so I threw them a few dirty looks and they shuffled up a few seats. And then thank God the security guard came in. I thought he's seen I'm in distress. He's going to come in and rescue me. But no, it turned out that they hadn't paid for the tour. They had only paid to go into the museum bit of it. And because, so basically they all came in, they sat down already thinking they were going to be doing the tour, and the security guard was like, no, there's the door over there, you need to go through that door, the museum's in there, you haven't paid for the tour, so off you go. So yeah, about 37 of them shuffled through the door and they disappeared off. But surprisingly, considering the amount of people that was at the Royal Mint today, there really wasn't that many on the tour that I did. There was probably 15, 16 people on the tour. Bear with me a minute. Oh, it's lovely. Nicely chilled. So yeah, only about 15, 16 people on the tour. And yeah, there was a little lady doing the tour. She's done it before. I've seen her face a few times there. She's a nice old dear, like, so she took us round. And obviously I'm walking around because I'd already bought my coins. I'm walking around with a Royal Mint package full of coins, and she's like, oh, you're a coin collector? So I was like, yeah, unfortunately so, for my sins. So she was asking what coins I collected, so just explaining that I collected the 50p's, etc. And by chance it was quite funny. As I said, I went to Tesco yesterday. Oh, bear with me a second. So as I was saying, I went to Tesco yesterday and I needed a pound coin for the trolley. Sensible enough to remember to bring a pound coin this time. It fucks me over no end when I go to Tesco and I forget the pound. But this is the only one I had. This one that sits up on my shelf. And you can see here that the middle on it pops out. So me and her were talking, and we were talking about the bimetal coins, and she was saying about how secure they were. And as she was talking, I put my hand in my pocket and realised I still had this one in my pocket from yesterday. So I said to her, they're not that secure, are they? Look at this one I've got. And she was like, oh my goodness, oh that's unusual. And then she said, oh, what year are they from? I said, oh well, this one's from 2016. And she's like, oh yeah, there was some problems in 2016 with the coins, but they're much better now. Apparently, when the coins heat up or cool down or whatever they do, this middle bit gets locked in tight. So the chances of getting one of these coins where the centre is out of them is, or the failure rate as she described it, is 0.00002. So I don't know how many that is. Is that 2 out of every 50,000 or so you might get the middle that comes out on it? So I wasn't expecting her to say anything, but she went and announced it to all 16 people in the bloody tour. So they all looked round at me. I've coin snatcher standing there with a red face. Anyway, she caught me out, but that was quite funny. And then we walked around. We had a little chat as we were going and all the rest of it. Felt quite nice, actually. I'm probably the only one there who actually properly collected 50p's. And the other funny thing was that whilst I was in the shop buying my coins, the amount of people who were picking up the coins, you know, in these little bank packs, and they're going, holy Christ, £11 for a 50p, I'm not paying that. And they're putting them back down on the floor again. I say the floor, on back on the shelf again. So that was quite funny. There was one particular family, and I don't know if the dad collected them or not, but the kids came over and they wanted 50p's or whatever that they had found, and the dad was like, you're not getting bloody 50p's, this one's costing me 11 quid, you've already had an ice cream. So the kids started crying. Quite quite amusing from my point of view. I stood back and thought, oh, let's watch the carnage ensue. And then the dad picked up the colour coin, and he called his wife over and he was, holy Christ, Mary, look at the fucking price of it. This one's fucking £21. Who pays £21 for a bloody coin? The mug standing beside you listening to your family argument. You know, I have fucking 6 of them or whatever in my hand. So anyway, it's really funny. The surprising thing now too about the Royal Mint, the shop, is the amount of tap that they sell. I mean, you would think with the volume of coins that they're pumping out, they wouldn't need to sell all the ancillary tap that they do, but it's a phenomenal amount of it. And I didn't put it in the video, but one of the things they do sell are little bags of sweets. And I tell you what, these bags of sweets, they must be 100 grams. I think one of them had the old-fashioned cola cubes. Must have had 16 cola cubes in it. 4 quid. 4 quid for a bag of fucking sweets. I couldn't fucking believe it. Anyway, all these feral kids running around and all the rest of it. So I got my coins and fucked off, didn't I? But second to that, because this time I booked the tickets online on the website, that in itself was a fucking mission trying to do that. I mean, you log into your Royal Mint account, you try to book the tickets and it tells you have to log in again, and then when you log in, try to log in again, it tells you your password isn't recognised. So what a fucking palaver to do that. But in the end we got it booked and turned up for the 1 o'clock tour. Bear with me. Oh, what goes down a treat, that. That's bloody lovely. So, anyway, the whole point of the visit today was to pick up the latest Strike Your Own coin. So this is it here, the Stegosaurus 50p. Nice little design on this. There was loads of people too that didn't pay to do the strike your own coin. Because I've been to the Royal Mint probably somewhere in the region of 30 times, I always hold back when it comes to doing the strike your own. I'm like, no, let everybody else go first. I'll go at the end. Doesn't really entertain me that much anymore, pushing the button on the machine to strike the coin. So the lady I'd been talking to during the tour, she was like, oh, are you having to strike your own coin? And I was like, yeah. She goes, oh, how many are you having? I'm like, 6. She's like, what? 6? You're only supposed to have 3. I said, yeah, but to be honest, the missus came in. It was too many people for her. It sets off her OCD tendencies. So she's had to go out and sit in the car, hasn't she? You know, it's a bit too much for her. She gets stressed in public places. She goes, oh, okay, no problem. So anyway, she gave me the 6 coins, which was quite handy. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't sell these coins either. I just like to have as many strike your owns as possible for each coin. And if I can wrangle a system out where I can get more than 3, which is supposedly the maximum you're allowed, then happy days. So lucky today, able to get 6. We got 6 of the first one. I think that was the Tyrannosaurus Rex as well. But the lady at the Royal Mint doing the tour, she reckons in 20 years these coins will be worth a fortune. I reckon in 20 years I'll probably be dead and somebody else will be making a fortune off them. But hey ho, that's the way it goes. So I had to get those strike your own coins. And then the other thing we had to do at the Mint today was pick up the coins that were missing from the collection, because I have been derelict in my duties recently when it comes to collecting the more recent 50p's. I haven't bothered to a certain extent, but I thought we'll go to the Royal Mint today. We'll pick them all up and we'll get back to date with them. So the first one that we have today is this one here, which is the winged keys. And if you can make the design out on that, you're a better person than me, because to me it just looks like a fucking blob. It just looks ridiculous. I mean, can you make out what the design is on that? You got Harry Potter here sitting on his broomstick chasing something around. If we get rid of that and we have a look at the colour one, it makes a bit more sense. Let's have a little zoom in there. So you can see there I don't know what he's chasing there. It's something blue. It looks like a handkerchief. But there we go, that's Harry Potter. So we picked up the bank one of that and the Cupro-Nickel, the plain version of that. And the bank one has a colour bank one has a limited edition presentation of 20,000. Now, I did have a look, because the Dinghy Divers 50p, the RNLI one, that seems to be holding its money quite well on eBay. In fact, it seems to be going up in value quite a bit. But the LEP on that particular coin is 7,500. So obviously they didn't think as many people were going to buy the Lifeboat coin, so much lower LEP on that colour coin. And then the next coin that we had was the Millennium Falcon coin. So there we go. Obviously not as good as the Enterprise, but you know, second rate freighter, I think this was in the Star Wars movies. I can't really diss it too much, because as a child I had the Millennium Falcon, the Snow Speeder, and loads of the little, what do you call them, little stick figure things, Darth Vader and the Imperial Guard and all the rest of it, Han Solo and Chewbacca, and I had loads of the little figurines. They're probably all still up in my parents' loft, gathering dust. Probably in really good condition as well, because I looked after all my toys when I was young. So we got the plain one of that. And then we got the colour version of it as well. And I think it looks much better in colour. Some of the coins don't lend themselves to colour that well, but I think that one looks pretty good. It looks pretty nice. And if we pop this one over and have a look at the packaging on the back, got a little bit of information there about the Falcon. and this also has a LEP of 20,000. So I think anything over, you know, anything over 10,000 really, I don't expect to go up in value. I think if you have 10,000 or under as the LEP, then it will go up in value. It'll become more popular over time. Bear with me a second. Right. Now the final three coins we had were the dinosaur coins. Now because I get these dinosaur coins on pre-order from Westminster Collection, I didn't need to buy any of the non-coloured ones. So we got the Diplodocus, or Diplodocus as I would call it before being corrected. I do like the designs on these where you see the skeletal form of the dinosaur as well. So we got Diplodocus, which has a LEP on it of 15,000 this time. A little bit of info there on the back of it. And then we had the Stegosaurus. Again, nice design on the Stegosaurus. And with these colour ones, the packaging is much nicer. So if you open it up, they display in a much nicer way than the regular non-colour coins. And with that one as well, we got an LEP of 15,000, and a little bit of information on the back of that as well. And then the final coin that we picked up today was the Tyrannosaurus. And this, well, the colour version obviously, but again, quite a nice bit of packaging with this. Nice looking design on that coin as well. And if we flip that over, so that looks pretty good as well. LEP 15,000, all the same. So all in all, I can tell you it was a rather expensive day today at the Royal. Oh, excuse me, at the Royal Mint. By the time you pay for the fuel to get over there, you pay for 2 tours, all the strike your own coins, those coloured coins, and the bunk coin. Then it becomes quite an expensive day. But, you know, it can't be a 50p collector and not have these 50p's in the collection. Had a chat with one of my fellow collectors the other day, and must have been last Wednesday or Thursday, and I was just thinking about the 50p's, because Westminster now seem to be releasing 50p coins every, you know, two sets a month now. And I thought to myself, I wonder, are they upping their production and the number of coins, designs that they're releasing because the Popejoy Mint has closed? You know, they're trying to capitalise and take that market share rather than let the Royal Mint have it. And then the very next day I was speaking to my mate Les, and he said, do you think they're releasing a lot more stuff? And I thought, yeah, I thought exactly that. It's now at the plan. They're sneaky as well, Westminster Collection, because they release the colour coins first, as they did with the Puss Bag, the Bag Puss 50p set. They released all the colour ones first in the various special editions and what have you. And then it was only a day or two ago that they released the non-colour version, which is the colour that most, or non-colour, it's the type that most collectors will go for. So again, there's skullduggery, fuckery afoot there with the way they're releasing coins. They're releasing the more expensive ones first, and then when interest dies off in those, then they're releasing the non-colour versions and getting the second wave of people to buy those as well. But overall, I think Westminster definitely releasing more coins than they did when Popejoy Mint was striking coins and that. But there we go. So I hope you enjoyed the video earlier, brief sort of tour around the museum. I did that video because I'd been asked in a previous video in the comments if I could do a slightly longer sort of in-depth walk around the museum. So only happy to oblige and to do that. But if there's any particular section that anybody wants to see in more detail, then as I say, the next time I go, I will make sure that I have the phone charged up fully and do a longer video. I'll go when it's quiet as well, and then I won't have other customers in the way. In the meantime, if you want to be one of those customers that, I say one of those customers, if you want to be a viewer that has one of these coins, remember there's only 2 in every, is it 500,000 or 50,000, whatever it is. Well, we'll be now selling this on eBay for £500. It's got to be worth an absolute fortune. But there we go. That was how my day went today. Hope you folks all had a good day. Hope you enjoy your Easter. Hope you haven't been mug enough to buy the Easter eggs that are ridiculous money. I mean, fucking Tesco and their price of their Easter eggs, it's absolutely scandalous. But anyway, I promised myself I wouldn't have a rant on this video. So that's it for now. Peace and love. Coin Snatcher out.